Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our macOS development with AppKit tutorial series. And in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at how we can create submenus for our menu items in AppKit. Now, menu items are menus and menu items are a fundamental part of AppKit, Cocoa, that kind of stuff, and submenus are just as important. So it's vital that you know how to create submenus for your menu items. That way you can construct effective menu hierarchies in your app for different commands. Now, submenus are particularly important when you take into consideration the menu bar at the very top of our macOS screen here. Every menu, like file, edit, stuff like that, those are menu items. The menu bar itself is a menu. And each of these menus, file, edit, view, whatever, has a submenu which contains all of its commands, like save, open, open recent, stuff like that. Open recent in and of itself has another submenu embedded inside of that. So depending on what you are aiming for your menu hierarchies, you can have many sub-items within sub-items within sub-items, or submenus within submenus within submenus. You get the idea. So it's very important. The example we're going to be using today is we're going to be using a pull-down button in the toolbar of our application. This pull-down button will have two options. We'll have two menus, or two items, and these items will each have a submenu. One will be a menu item for fruits, and then one for vegetables. Each submenu, so the fruits submenu and the vegetables submenu, is going to have menu items for each of those particular kinds of produce. This is meant to mimic something you might see in an app for putting together grocery lists or recipe book type applications, stuff like that. So I really wanted to use a practical-ish example. All right, now let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to mention is that I have an array of two arrays of strings in my constants file. They each have names for fruits and vegetables in their respective arrays. And then we have static computed properties in that same constants file, that what they do is they pretty much map each of the strings in their respective arrays to NS menu item objects with the names of the produce as their title. Right, so that's kind of what that's how we're starting off. If you watched the previous video on NS menu and NS menu item, you should know how to do that already. All right, so if you haven't seen that video yet, go back and watch it, because it is vital for understanding this video. All right, so with that, the first thing that we want to do is we want to create the menu for the pull-down button, the menu for our fruits, and then the menu for our vegetables. So the fruits and vegetables menus are going to be the submenus that we're going to be working with. All right, so let's go ahead and say let menu equals NS menu, let fruits menu equals NS menu, let vegetables menu equals ns menu. All right, cool. Now we have now we have all three NS menu objects that we're going to be working with instantiated. Second, we're going to need some menu items. First, we need one for fruits and then one for vegetables. We'll say let fruits item fruits item equals ns menu item fruits menu, or rather fruits item dot title equals fruits all right. Then we'll say menu dot add item fruits item, like that. All right, cool. Next, we're going to create our vegetables item and then add that to the menu. So we'll say let vegetables item equals ns menu item vegetables item dot title equals vegetables, and then we'll say menu add item vegetables item. All right. Now before our fruits item, let's go ahead and say menu dot add item that we want with title. It'll be add grocery, or let's say add produce. The selector will be nil, and key equivalent will be an empty string because we don't want any keyboard shortcuts associated with this, because we haven't learned how to do that yet. All right, so with that, we now have our first menu item, which will be used as the pull-down button's label. And then we also have our fruits item and vegetables item created. Next, we are going to we're going to add all of our fruit and vegetable items, the ones that have the names of the produce as their titles. We're going to add those NS menu items to the submenus. So here we'll say for item in constants dot fruit items and then for item in constants dot vegetable items inside of the first for loop here, we will say fruits menu dot add item. And then inside of the second for loop, we will say vegetables menu dot add item. Just like that. Okay? Now, after we've added all of the fruit and vegetable items to our submenus, we are going to say oh, come on. Fruits item dot submenu. So if you call menu here, like if you try to assign menu to your menu item instead of submenu, excuse me, your app will crash. So equals fruits menu, and then vegetables item dot submenu equals vegetables menu. Just like that. Now let's save it and run our code. We have a successful build. And here is our application. Now you can see that this doesn't work. Now why doesn't this work? Well, the reason why it doesn't work is because we did not say add pull down, which is our pull down button, dot menu equals menu. Save that, run it. We have a successful build, and our application runs. Now, our menu button, well, not menu button, our pull down button, which is interpreted by VoiceOver as a menu button, has the label that we gave it, so add produce. When we open that up, you can see we have fruits and then vegetables, each of which have a submenu. When we go into, for example, fruits, we can see all 11 fruits. If we go into vegetables and we open up that submenu, you can see we see all 7 vegetables listed. All right. So with that, let's kind of go back over what it is that we did so we can review a little bit. All right, so the first thing we did was we instantiated all the necessary menus that we need. The main menu and then the 2 submenus. So we have 3 NS menu objects total. Next, we configured our, next what we did was we added the first menu item to our menu, which for a pull down button, unless otherwise configured, will be used as its label. Next, we create the first item in our main menu that will have a submenu. We're calling it fruits item. We set its title to fruits. We add that item to our main menu. We do the same thing with our vegetables item, where we create an NS menu item object this vegetables item will have a submenu. We set its title to vegetables. Then we add this vegetables item to the main menu. Next, we actually build the submenu for our fruits by getting all the fruit items from our constants file. And then we do the same thing where we loop through all of our vegetable items from our constants file and then add them to our vegetables menu. Now, fruits menu and vegetables menu are our submenus that we're going to be working with. Then we assign the submenus. So fruits item.submenu equals our fruits menu. And then vegetables item submenu equals vegetables menu. So we have our submenus initialized. The final thing we do is we assign the main menu to our pull-down button's menu property. Alright, so with that being said, that pretty much does it for this video on how you can create menus with items that have submenus inside of those items. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.